Church, welcome in for a new week of devotions this week covering the peace of mind. It is so important in today's day and age to have peace inside of our minds, and I'm thankful that the Prince of Peace that Pastor Mike spoke on all of last week will come and be the peace inside of our own mind. Each and every one of us have the opportunity to have a peace of mind. Immediately following the storm that Pastor Mike spoke on last week, in which Jesus stood and said, "Peace, be still," and the storm and the wind and the waves began to stop. Immediately after that storm, they reached dry ground, they docked the ship, and Jesus stepped foot on a new place, and this place was called Gaderenes. And there was a wild man that lived there, and he was known to be demonically possessed. And as soon as Jesus stepped on that ground, he came running and screaming toward Jesus. And he said, the demons inside of him spoke out and said, "You son of David, have mercy on me." In other words, I know who you are. Don't trouble us. Why are you here to trouble us? Jesus addressed the evil spirits rather than the victim of their possession when he commanded the unclean spirits in Mark 5 verse 8 to come out of the man. Then Jesus asked the man his name, and he answered, "My name is Legion, for we are many." The demons had no choice but to answer. They began to plead with Jesus that he would not send them into the abyss, preferring instead to be sent into a nearby herd of swine. Jesus allowed the evil spirits to enter the swine, and they immediately charged toward the sea and plunged over the cliff and into their death. The change in the possessed man, only known as Legion, was immediate. He was restored to his right mind, put on the clothes that were given him, and devoted himself to follow Jesus. What a complete transformation that occurred so quickly in the life of this young man. The gripping story of an individual so possessed by evil spirits that he was ostracized from society and resorted to live among the tombs was relayed in each synoptic gospel. Matthew actually recorded the tale of two such possessed men in the region. Perhaps these stories are the greatest examples of the difference it makes when Jesus brings peace to a troubled mind. The same boats that brought the disciples to the shore of the Gaderenes shoved off from the banks into the retreating waves. They lifted their sails to catch the wind that would drive them back across the lake to the shores where they had come. Behind them were the delivered men, set free through the power of God by the command of Jesus Christ. We honestly do not know their proper names, but one of them was called Legion because of the many demons that tormented him daily. What do you call a man who has been identified by his evil possession? While we are not given his name, we know that his identity was changed that day. No longer was he identified by demons. He could no longer be called Legion. We could call him changed, transformed, delivered. Call him anything but the tag of the past that represented the spiritual darkness of his oppression. For those who did not know his name, he probably became known as the one who was possessed, or the one who was delivered by Jesus. The fame of this miracle continued wherever this man went because he never stopped talking about it. He continued his life as a changed man by the power of Jesus Christ. In fact, Jesus gave him the command in Mark 5 verse 19, "Go home to your friends and tell them the great things the Lord has done for you and how he had compassion on you." The scars all over his body from cutting himself and from the torment that he had gone through were deep and lasting, but they were no longer painful. Now there was a testimony of the radical change that had taken place in an instant as Jesus rebuked the spirits and delivered the man from his oppression. He shared his story everywhere. He did not stop with just witnessing to his family, but he proclaimed all that Jesus had done for him throughout the entire area, throughout the Decapolis, the 10 cities east of the Sea of Galilee. What an amazing transformation to go from someone so tormented by depression, by anxiety, and by these demons that caused him to destroy himself, to go from that in an instant to peace in his mind and in his heart. That transformation is what we're going to talk about today. I would encourage you, I'm going to post this video, and when I do, I'm going to link a song in there that we actually enjoyed this past Easter from Sight and Sound. And in this song, it depicts this story that we just talked about. And it does it in such a beautiful way that I know it will be a blessing to you. I pray that each of you are blessed today, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 2.